Hello and welcome to the final project for COMM 370, the personal health narrative. Today I'll be taking you through my chronic pain journey. Now I want to do this in like a YouTube video essay format, however I figured out there's a lot that goes into this. It was supposed to be on the TV, however I couldn't figure that out, so you just have to bear with me. I also have my script here, so if I reference that, this may be my first and last time ever doing a video essay like this. But like any good YouTuber, we should start with a disclaimer. We will be talking about chronic pain, so if that's too triggering, just find another project. Now, I hope none of you do experience chronic pain. However, if you do, you know it is a roller coaster of emotions, and we are about to go on a journey. So sit with me from start to finish for a story time. Now, I was like any other kid, doing kid things and playing in the dirt, and then all of a sudden, boom, not so happy kid. I had pain in my legs. Stairs, I couldn't even make it up them. Like getting up to that landing, similar to this picture, nearly impossible. And we're like, what could this be? Who knows? They assumed growing pains. My mom went through something similar. We went to the doctors. I was around the age, 8 to 10 years old. They said, yep, must be growing pains. We didn't think much of it, but then it continued. So, hope you're ready to go back to school with me, because throughout my middle and high school, around 13 to 15, we were constantly seeing this doctor. We were driving to the cities, offices similar like this, except ours was like fish themed. And we were seeing specifically a rheumatologist. Now, a rheumatologist treats autoimmune disorders, typically musculoskeletal. And we were seeing this doctor, and it was just like the same cycle of things. I mean, he was just like doing an assessment, asking me about my pain levels, and then not really finding anything wrong. But eventually he retired and we switched to a female doctor, where it felt like we were headed in the right direction. She was at least looking for a diagnosis, which it is hard to diagnose kids under 18 with certain arthritic conditions. So we at least felt like we were headed in the right direction at that point in time. And then it was well managed. Like, I wasn't in too much pain. I was able to do pretty much everything I wanted to do. But around 17 years old, I experienced the worst pain of my life. And I broke my arm falling out of a tree. So this was nothing in comparison. And eventually, like, it got to the point where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't walk. I was in constant pain. And we couldn't find relief from the pain. But eventually we went into my primary care doctor, and she diagnosed me with sciatic pain. Now, she did treat it there with a dose of steroids called prednisone, and this did help for a time. But however, we couldn't find the root cause. Like, we weren't sure what exactly was causing it. Could it be connected to the arthritis? Potentially, but we weren't 100% sure. So I was then at this point in time between 17 and 19, just in this constant like cycle of a flare-up of the sciatic pain and then prednisone. Flare-up, steroids. Flare-ups, steroids. Flare-ups, steroids. I think you get the point. So eventually, these flare-ups got so bad, it put me in the emergency room. Not once, but twice. And I had two very different experiences here. The first one, after not sleeping for 3 days and just wanting relief, I had a very caring team. They listened to me, listened to my whole story, so I was just in pain and needed help. And they sent me home with 10 pills of a low-dose narcotic, and I think I took 2, and I was good to go. And they just were very empathetic and caring and tried to help me the best they could. And my second experience at the ER was not as good. I was just desperate. Again, no sleep. It was just a rough time, and I needed help, and I got nothing. They made me feel so hopeless. They told me, there's nothing we can do for you. And I remember telling them, like, hey, I've been given like this pill before. I've tried it. It's not helping. Can you please help me? And they were like, no. They made me feel like a drug addict somehow. So after that experience, I decided if I have another flare-up, I need to get this under control. So luckily my mom, her work friend had a daughter who was seeing a rheumatologist, and this rheumatologist was amazing. This doctor, I kid you not, after like 3 visits of like assessments, digging into my extensive medical history, they were able to get me like a pain management plan. And was it just one drug that luckily worked right away and I haven't had to do anything else? Yes, it was. But these people truly listened to my entire story, my entire journey from start to finish. And even though we're still searching for a specific diagnosis, right now it is just generalized arthritis or JIA. I truly felt like they cared and they listened. And now my pain is well managed. I do just about everything I want to do, and I haven't had a flare up ever since getting on their pain management plan. So that is my journey of chronic pain.